This happened when I went to visit my grandmother's house to play as a child. My two cousins around the same age. My sister and I started playing hide and seek. The seeker was my younger cousin. Since we always played hide and seek when visiting grandma's, all the good hiding spots were found out. Inside cardboard boxes, on top of dressers, under Gedabeko shoe cupboards at the entrance, But I was pretty good at hiding and would often be the last one found. So I was determined to find a new spot that day. I noticed the closet in the Butsudan room. I climbed up to the top shelf and saw that one of the boards was shifted a few millimeters. When I pushed on it, it lifted up, so I crawled in and put the board back. Using the light coming through cracks, I looked around and saw that rather than an attic, it was like a long tunnel. Grandma's house was a long single-story building, but this passage looked like it went from one end to the other. The height was just enough for an adult to crawl through on hands and knees. Thinking I'd be found if I stayed near the closet, I decided to move through the tunnel. Since it was an old house, there were plenty of gaps, so it wasn't pitch black. I wasn't too scared and kept crawling until I was almost at the end of the house, when suddenly, the ceiling boards I was crawling on ended, and I fell through headfirst. Luckily, there were lots of old musty futons below to break my fall, so I wasn't hurt, but something was off. There was no such room at Grandma's house. Looking up, I could see where I had fallen through, but it was quite high up, more like a basement than the first floor of a single-story house. The surroundings were earth and stone. I felt around, thinking I should try to climb back up, and found something like a switch, which I pushed. A naked light bulb hanging from a cord from above turned on. With the brightness, I could see around a hollow, gaping sideways tunnel. Since crawling back up seemed impossible, I thought I could get out somewhere by going through this tunnel. So I started crawling through it on hands and knees. It seemed to be covered in futons like before, damp and gross, but I was getting more scared, so kept going and going. Soon the light didn't reach anymore. It felt vaguely off-ill, which was a bit tiring. But I kept steadily crawling until I suddenly hit something. Apparently, there was a thin plywood board leaning there which fell over when I hit it. And I finally emerged from the hole. That was good, but it was a room I'd never seen before. Wooden cage-like lattice enclosed it. And where there seemed to be an exit, there was a large padlocked key. I couldn't get out. In peak fear, I cried loudly. Then I heard a woman's voice from even farther outside the cage. "Is someone there?" "I don't know, but I ended up here. Help me." "Wait just a minute." I heard rattling sounds, and the door outside the cage opened. It looked like I was in a small room inside some kind of storehouse. "There's no key for this place." "Hold on a sec, okay?" After a while, a middle-aged man appeared. He looked puzzled but tried clattering the lock, pulling on it, and other things to get it open, to no avail. In the end, he broke it open with an axe and rescued me. When asked my name and where I came from, I explained how I had come from Grandma's house through a hole and ended up here for some reason. The man piggybacked me and took me to Grandma's house. I had left playing at home but now came back, piggybacked by a stranger, bewildering Grandpa and Grandma. When I said, "This man helped me," they smiled and thanked him, though still confused. But the moment the man mentioned how I had entered their storehouse from a hole somewhere, they suddenly screamed, "Get out!" and chased him away. Feeling I had done something wrong, I explained to Grandpa. I went through a hole in the closet in the Butsudan room. It was connected all the way to the tunnel in that man's place. So I accidentally ended up in his storehouse. It's not the man's fault. But Grandpa yelled, "There's no way it connects that far." He went to the Butsudan room and violently nailed up and blocked the ceiling with lots of boards and nails. After that, I was too scared to mention the tunnel again. So I have no idea what that was. The house with the storehouse had been occupied by a reclusive old woman until she passed away a few months prior. It seems the couple who helped me moved in afterwards and didn't know much about the storehouse. Grandpa and Grandma have long since passed away, and that house now belongs to someone else. When I asked my parents recently, they said they didn't know anything about it. What was that? The piles of futons, the electricity, the tunnel. Thinking about it scares me, so I try not to ponder it too much.